All right, so I am sure by now that you have heard a lot of buzz going around about Joann Fabric. Are they closing down, or are they just shutting some stores down? I, for one, am all about doing research. There is a lot of fake news out there, and I don't believe half of what I hear. Even though there has been a whole slew of gossip going on, I decided that I was going to go ahead and do some research of my own, and I'm going to share a little bit of what I found out. I am going to read some off the computer here in front of me, and let's get to the bottom of, is Joann closing all stores or just some? I'm Darlene, and this is Heartfelt Crochets. Here I research, I study, I share, and I teach all things crochet. So if at the end of this video, if you've had found that it has been helpful to you, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. So in doing some research, I went to USA Today. I think that they're pretty good at reporting their news without, going crazy with fake news. And, I was researching through a bunch of the Google search, and I just didn't find a whole bunch of sites that I felt comfortable in believing what they said. But I feel pretty comfortable with USA Today. I did want to share with you that I myself don't shop a lot at Joann's stores. I shop online. Just seems to be my thing. I browse through and I search the yarns that they have in my local store, and I find what I want and then I order it. I think I've been into Joann's maybe half a dozen times, if that, in my life. I went with my mom. That's how long they've been open. I went with my mom when I was a kid, and that was a long time ago. My mom was an avid sewer, and she was a seamstress, and she would go to Joann's for a lot of her sewing notions and materials that she needed, and I would go there with her. Nice store, very nice store. All right, let's get on with a little bit of what's happening with Joann Fabric. According to, the reporter's name is Jonathan Limestone from USA Today, and this is what he has to write. Joann, an 82-year-old fabric and craft retailer, I told you that it was around for a long time, announced it has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy for a second time within a year due to financial and inventory issues. The company originally announced in March 2024 that it had filed for bankruptcy protection in Delaware after securing around $132 million in new financing, which was expected to reduce its $1 billion total debt by about $500 million. Whew, that's a lot of money. On Wednesday, the Ohio-based retailer released a statement about the second bankruptcy filing and its intention to facilitate a sale process to maximize the value of its business. He goes on to write, since becoming a private company in April, the board and management team have continued to execute on top and bottom line initiatives to manage costs and drive value. Michael Pendergast, interim CEO of Joann, said, however, the last several years have presented significant and lasting challenges in the retail environment, which, coupled with our current financial position and constrained inventory levels, forced us to take the next step. Okay, and then it says, despite announcing the commencement of voluntary Chapter 11 proceedings, Joann said its stores and websites are open in the ordinary course and continue to serve customers. Here is what to know about Joann's bankruptcy filing and what could come next for the struggling retailer. Now, I just wanted to go ahead and say before I continue that I called my local Joann here in Maine, and I asked them if they were closing their store down. And the gentleman on the other end of the line said, well, as of right now, we're not closed down, but we will find out for sure by the end of next week. So here we are. This is Sunday when I'm recording this. I just spoke with him yesterday. So by the end of this coming week, they should know if they're going to close this store down. But he didn't seem to be concerned. Okay. And Maine doesn't seem to be one of the ones that are closing down. Let's continue reading. Okay. What does the bankruptcy mean for Joann? Joann is seeking court approval to sell substantially all of its assets. The retailer statement reads, Gordon Brothers Retail Partners, LLC, which recently bought much of Big Lots, would be the stalking horse bidder to acquire Joann's. The purpose sale of Joann is subject to higher and better offers as the company continues to actively solicit alternative bids. So Gordon Brothers Retail Partners, LLC is the one that really, really wants Joann. But Joann isn't just going to settle for any bidder, and they're still taking a bunch of active bids. If more qualified bids are submitted during the court supervised sale process, Joann plans to conduct an auction or auctions according to this statement. In this scenario, the stalking horse bidder, Gordon Brother Retail Partners, would set the floor for the auction process. So they'd start out with a bid. Okay, so see if we can find out how many stores are actually closing. Joann has more than 800 stores across 49 states. But last week, Retail Dive reported that at least 8 stores across Ohio, North Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts are closing. So let's see, that's Ohio, North Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts. So that's 6 states out of 49 states that could possibly be closing. That's not all of Joann's closing. That's not how I'm reading it. Now, in watching some YouTube videos, some other fellow crocheter content creators, one lives in Pennsylvania, and she went and her store has totally shut down. It was totally gut out and empty. And then another one is from North Carolina, and they hadn't quite shut down yet. They don't know if they're going to. They hadn't found out, just like mine in Maine, they hadn't found out yet, but they were going to be finding out soon. So I'm not sure what area you're in, but I would give the store a call, and I would just ask them if they're going to be one of the stores that are closing. Not all Joann stores are closing down. They might end up having a new owner coming up soon. Yes, Joann is filing bankruptcy. Yes, Joann has got themselves in a tizzy. This is the second time that they filed bankruptcy in a year. So there's a little bit of a problem going on there with some management and some inventory issues. But that doesn't mean that they're all closing down. Who knows? Maybe the new bidder will end up keeping the name Joann. I don't know. That might be in the contract. We'll see. If a majority of the stores over 40 states is still probably going to remain open, this also tells me that you're going to be able to still order online. Joann's isn't completely shutting down. So there is an alternative that you can still shop online. Tell me what area you're in. Do you go to Joann? Are you a shopper of Joann Fabric? Are you really upset because they might be closing down in your state? Comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this Joann Fabric bankruptcy hype going on. I love to hear everybody's comments on what their perspective is, what their thoughts are on this whole thing. Until next time, bye.